biggest threat to Kerala today is garbage. So this, I narrated this at the hearing before the two secretaries and asked the question, do you say, quoting, referring to Sudhiran's statement, do you say the Pope came here to get drunk? Kerala's journey went from international tourism, then of course domestic tourism, which came. Now as COVID goes forward, we are discovering a new kind of tourists. And we put them under the name, the neighborhood tourists. So what are holidays meant for? They have to be something that you learn from, take back with you. Customer is not king. Management schools will kill you for that. Customer is not king. So the evolved modern customer, we discover, is one who will see value when the consumer's interest does not overwhelm the interest of the planet and society. Comes later after. There is a famous hotelier named in the US, name description, but anyway, he was asked, what are the 3 ingredients for a great hotel? He said, number 1, location. Number 2, location. Number 3, location. From that translated, room with a view. The contrary to that is, that's good logic, fantastic view. Now, further progressing from that, the next customer value comes from how does the room look from the view? So, if the room looks, or if you've got tall buildings and ugly structures, each of them have fantastic view. But from the view, if you look at it, if they're ugly, then too, people will not want to go to such a place. So, these kind of experience in luxury made us open our eyes to a different model. From that, we changed the name from Casino Group of Hotels to CGH Earth. I can imagine people coming from all over the world, other parts of the world, coming here, not for what they have there, but for experience what they have here. My proposal will be that. I will do what the islanders will do, for which I don't need 3 months to tell you. Give me 3 months and I'll recommission the hotel. Because the islanders put back, and then when the Prime Minister had come, they made 3 what they call VIP cottages, as different from the other parts of the hotel. The VIP cottages, they put some very fancy, some tiles, or not tiles, some kind of plastic sheets on top. Flooring tiles they put here on the floor, so all important for Prime Minister. All I have to do is remove all that and revert it back into thatch.
Give the trust
and the terracotta tiles which the island they would do. That's all I need. If that is not, on that basis they cannot give it. Then they went on a tender. So Habibullah later tells me that because of what you said at that day, we made sure that applicants like you, tenderers like you, will not get disqualified by conditions which otherwise would have put, that you must have so much of net worth, you must be running a 5-star hotel, and you must have all kinds of other conditions. All those they kept aside, so that you are not disqualified. So the tender was called and it was opened in Delhi, at which time, the basis of tender awarding is how will the government benefit best and how will the local islanders do best. On these 2 counts, both the counts, we were L1, and the highest. Oberoi was L2 for the best offer to the government. So finally, of course, we were awarded this contract to operate Bangara Man Resort, and which, that's another story, which we ran for 22 years. Now lease is over. That's, I will not get into that now. And what that did was, it changed our approach in hoteliering in Kerala itself. A definition, for example, in luxury, we were wondering how much price should we charge? What should the product be? The hotel opened on 18th of December 1988. And the advertised features of the hotel was the absence of telephone, television, newspaper, air conditioning, hot water, room service, multi-cuisine restaurants, swimming pool. We all broadly advertised, all absent. Come, not despite, but because they are absent. That was, at that time, a very different and new approach. And for the absence, what do you charge? So we looked at the position there, and we found that people coming from Europe, at that time mostly in Europe, they fly Frankfurt, Mumbai, and stay in the, most of them would stay in the newly opened, in 96 opened, Oberoi Hotel called Oberoi Towers. It was a 10 crore also here. And it had a tariff of US dollar, for a standard room, a tariff of US dollars 180. And then they would come here and they were staying here. For pricing, we thought, if on the way they're paying 180, we are, logically, they should have no difficulty paying 180 in their destination also. So we also put 180. The tour operators,
$180 per day.
$180 per day.
Those days.
So making it the most per room tariff, the highest in India, the Oberoi Towers in Mumbai, and Bangara Man Resort in Lakshmi. So
offering nothing.
So that was the issue. So the tour operators got, so why? How can you do such a thing? 180. So look at on the way they're paying, they're staying there, but then they have to tell us. Remember, they're staying in the Oberois. And have you seen the chandeliers and the marble there? What have you got? You only got mud and thatch. So this was our biggest discovery, that by changing definition, or that changing from criteria for luxury from built ostentation to experience, suddenly mud and thatch also can be exceedingly luxurious. Under the new policy, if the hotel ground has got a tree, you're allowed to tap and serve toddy. We've also tried to serve toddy in the past. Some of there is a fear for stomach. Toddy here, you get is also
pure one you can.
But Sri Lanka's big success was not in toddy but in arak. Sri Lankan arak, every tourist who comes there drinks it because that's the local alcohol, and take back 1 or 2 bottles.
It's like Feni in Goa.
Take back to their own country. So it remains in the bars as a permanent or a constant reminder of Sri Lanka. Every time they open the bar, I would drink the Sri Lankan. Any guest comes and be Sri Lanka. Kerala why is it not? Sadly, they're still stuck in the AKNE era. They're afraid to break that. What he brought.
Arak ban. So you're saying that it should be lifted?
Must be lifted. We got, in the excise rules, we got FMFL, foreign made foreign liquor, Indian made foreign liquor. The third is local variety, which I don't know whether they call it the name, Indian made Indian liquor. This is the only liquor which this liquor, the IMFL helps the states which manufacture, which is not Kerala. FMFL helps Scotland. Indian-made Indian liquor will help local farmers and create local jobs. Why are we afraid of that? Now when Nipah came, the first hit were two. One is tourists will not come. Two is the fruit. No, everybody stops eating fruit. There's one story, I think, was doing the rounds about a pineapple farmer who leased out land, who allowed 50 tons of pineapple to rot because there are no buyers. So if pineapple, instead of being eaten, is converted to alcohol, the Nipah sky will not go into distilled alcohol. So the Industries Minister whom will say, I've come as far as converting fruits into wine. But fruits into arak, will take some time. They're afraid somehow that the bishop will make them lose a few votes. Let me just tell you an incident which I'm privy to, and you can judge whether he came to get drunk or not. Pope John Paul came, and we, Casino Group of Hotels, and now CGH Earth, he came and we were given the contract by the Latin bishop and the Syrian bishop to cater to the Pope.
This was a time when Christian priests are also opposing this alcohol sale.
You are all opposing. So in the Latin bishop church, Latin bishop house, Pope John Paul had just come back. It's about 4 o'clock in the evening, hot day. He came, his tour came, sat down there. Somebody asked him, Your Holiness, what do you have to drink? He said, give me a glass of chilled beer. That's what he said. So we had caterers, we had anticipated that, provided that. And since the Pope was drinking, others also had to drink chilled beer.
Other priests also had.
That's beer. So next day, it was at the Syrian bishop house. So for the dinner, we said we'll give something very in Kerala. On a trolley, mean pollichud in banana leaf. On a trolley which will come with on fire there. So with the steam coming out, and it was there before the Pope. And he was sitting next to the papal nuncio. Then the Pope asked the nuncio, what wine would you recommend with this? Normally fish, they would have white wine. But the papal nuncio said, this is so spicy. The food here, I recommend red wine. We had also anticipated that and got Indian red wine and served it to the Pope. And so I narrated this at the hearing before the two secretaries.
In High Court?
Not the High Court. Before the Labour and the Tourism Secretary. And asked the question, do you say, referring to Sudhiran's statement, do you say the Pope came here to get drunk? Their response was, no, nobody please report this. Now obviously that was the people still excise continues to be the biggest roadblock. Beach for beach. The best beach in India. According to a study made long ago, is Kovalam. As a result of that, ITDC set up Kovalam Beach Resort there. But our regulations are such. In Goa, the attraction of the beach is that you can have beer in the beach shack. In Kovalam, you get the famous story of the German High Commissioner had to drink wine from a teapot. So those kind of regulations have made play there. The biggest charter operator in India is a Malayali. His company name is, yeah. They operate in Goa and here. Charters. Land. We can't bring people to Kerala. The reason why the chartered traveller, the European comes to India on a beach, chasing the winter sun. Their luxury is to lie on the sun and lie on the beach, have a glass of beer and some fish, and do nothing else. That is not possible here. Therefore, we lost out. I'll give you, talking about beach, I'm talking about the example of Mararikulam. We set up the first resort there. It was a grand success. Following that, there are now 8 resorts on that beach. Our 60-room resort employs about 120 people. The other 8 resorts altogether must be employing about 1,000 people. What did it do to Mararikulam village? It is the most impoverished part of Kerala, that village, stretch of beach, coast to coast, from Alleppey to Kochi. Fishermen, little income, coconuts have failed. Then many of them will come to Kochi, at construction site, you will get some work. Paid well, 700, 800 rupees. But you don't know tomorrow there is work or not. So what do they do? Whatever money they will get, they will drink. So alcoholism become a big issue there. Now after the hotels had come, and people started getting a job, something unusual is noticed. And this is brought out by 2 groups, 2 cells. The Marxist Party reported, Kudi Koranyu. Alcoholism is coming down. The church also said this is something is coming down. What has happened is everyone who got a job, they will not drink, their family will not drink. Suddenly there is a future, hope. And they don't want to spoil all that through alcoholism. So, I think that why alcohol reduce alcoholism? Why a bar? Resort could not have worked without a bar. But tourists created jobs, and tourists and jobs result in people now having to not, they got a permanent job to work. They started getting qualified, getting there to train and educated. So, your talk beaches. I mean, you could see the Kolam way is one way. The overbuilt, all kinds of structures. Soon there was no beach left. Another word I will introduce here is the alert independent traveller. Who is he? This is a word coined by somebody by the name of Peter Adderhold. I attended a workshop of his many years ago in Kabini. And he coined 2 words. One is the alert independent traveller, AIT, and Sun, Sand, Surf Traveller, SSS. So, Peter Adderhold was actually professor of tourism in Denmark, University of Denmark. After retirement, he moved to and started what he called the Adderhold Institute of Tourism Studies in Germany. He got a contract at that time. The EU has just formed. He got a contract from EU to study what attracted EU tourists to destinations, mostly to Asia. And based on that, he came to this. He did a survey of 5,000 people. It was a very large survey, very detailed interviewing. The Sun, Sand, Surf Traveller is one who wanted 27 degrees Celsius water, white sands, and everything, nothing uncertain. The best food, the best of experiences, everything else he is unconcerned about. That's the model of a traveller. In opposite him, there's another model of a traveller which he called the AIT, the Alert Independent Traveler. The SSS traveler, what he did was, in his characterization, bought a ticket and went wherever the ticket went. You go to a travel agency and buy a Cosmos tour, buy a ticket, 2 weeks, you go and you sit there and enjoy the tour. AIT is opposite. He wants to be in command. He will research, find out, have a reason to go wherever he went. And usually the SSS travel in groups, AIT travels individually or as couples or smaller numbers together. And another feature about the AIT was that he's sympathetic to local. The other high demanding, no compromises. Here, okay, if the trains come late, the roads are all bumpy, it's okay. It's after all, he's coming to. He's asking about questions such as democracy, human rights, people's lives, impact of his own travel to a destination. All that became a big concern of his. For CGH, now then, for Kessler Hotel, we had to know, and Harold also determined that in his study from Europe, that 90% fell into the basket he called SSS. Only 10% fell into the basket called AIT. India has more ability to cater to AIT. So to Kerala. So to what we thought was our group of hotels. So we plugged on to the AIT customer, who is rarer. But as we went along, we found that more and more of the world is moving from SSS to AIT.
But spending, AIT spends more than
much more than the traveling individually. There the tour operator comes and negotiates the package, and they will all go together. Here you will stay for 2 days. In fact, you will find stories which have been published probably about a customer who's come and stayed in Marari Beach for 31 times and over 30 years, every year coming together. But so Kerala's model, it's quite unique in tourism. Kerala's journey went from international tourism, then of course domestic tourism, which came. Now as COVID goes forward, we are discovering a new kind of tourists. And we put them under the name the neighborhood tourists. Local traveling locally. Cochinites traveling in Cochin. We have a lot of people coming and staying in the Brampton who are from Cochin itself, wanting to spend, instead of taking a flight and going to some other place, we'll have the same holiday here itself. That was a COVID time reason. COVID time they want to avoid getting into public transport, getting into aircraft. So now after they got into that style, they found that they could as good a holiday here. They'll come check in on a Thursday evening, and check out on a Monday morning.
That's a recent trend, like
new trend. And then you find the locals, they want to go sightseeing in Cochin. So they've seen this 100 times, may have seen it enough time before. Now to see it again, there's a high quality curated tours. They will now see it with new eyes, immersive travel. Last time they saw the fish nets. Now next time you come and see it, that every part of the fish net has got a name, its story, its history, and the street, and so they like to dwell into that history. So that's another opportunity for Kerala to what is called immersive, experiential travel.
Kumbalangi is say 45 minutes, but it's like a different planet. Or places
to experience the place.
Kodamangalam.
To experience the place, to do some active holiday, go back with a new skill, which could be how to learn how to cook an appam. Biggest threat to Kerala today is garbage. And I remember many years ago, a French tour operator, I forget the name of it, he would say, "So Dominic, tourism is now growing, exploding in Kerala. Now, a day may come, unless you're careful, when the whole edifice will collapse, not because of some external threat, but only because of humble garbage. And that's what is happening now. The biggest threat to Kerala tourism is garbage.
What is the solution for this?
Solution-
What do you do in your own properties?
For us, clean is so important. It is spiceful if you take it. It's a zero waste, and all the solids biodegradable. It goes into biodigesters. It becomes compost and used for the farm. The others are sorted out: plastic, bottle, tin, everything else. Once it's sorted out and clean, there's value to it. People come and buy it. Water, liquid waste is treated to make it, the BODs be kept to usable level and used for agriculture. It is in Spice Village where the linkage to the farm, where you're referring to, is one of the offerings we had is we in ecotourism, it is to benefit local, preserve the local, preserve environment. Local, we want to take it outside the hotel itself. If you travel from Mundakayam to Thekali, along the side of the road, here and there, you see so much of plastic being dropped. And this is, I go back to that Goan activist who said, when he talked about statistics, 40 lakhs is the population of Goa, 64 lakhs is tourist footfalls. Goa's policy of inviting FDI, they came. FDI takes away the clean. And what are we left with? We Goans are left here to clean up the garbage. So in other words, tourism will get a bad name, will become hated if it is, if people experience it, local people experience it, droppers of garbage. Now you look at the backwaters. Not tourism, look at the backwater. Every panchayat, every municipality, every city, the sewage is conveniently flowing into the backwaters. When I go for a walk in Panambali Nagar from here, I see, and I used to live in Giri Nagar many years ago. There's a septic tank. And Panambali, every house has a septic tank. From septic tank, the overflow went into the drain. From the drain, they went into the canal. And from the canal, into the backwater. So everybody was conveniently happy. What is happening? Backwaters will become here. A container of all the sewage from the city, the panchayat, and every municipality. So, if the COVID came from a wet market in Wuhan because something happened there, or bad management of the germs, what will be happening in the backwater? One day, it will be sewage waters. What can happen? I think it should be a target for Kerala should be make the backwaters swimmable again. That will make a big step. And what do you have to do? Make sure that all the sewage is first treated before it goes into the backwater. No untreated garbage should go in. Sewage should go in. If it becomes swimmable again, I remember when Coconut was being built, we used to go here by boat to Kumarayam, somewhere near Pandramanal. We'll drop anchor, water will kick. And then you never swim before going there. Today when you go in the boat, the water slides on you, then you get another water to clean this off. Become such a big, this is 1993 to now is not in these terms, it's an instant. 25 years later at this rate, what will going to happen? I say that there is strong connection, there is not I say, there is evidence to say that, strong connection between autoimmune diseases and the environment. If you try and compete with somebody else, then you are going to be a rat race. So, as in fact, we had contemplated and tried at some time in Bagair itself, became extremely highly popular and highly aspirational. We would welcome guests when you come here. There is no television, there is no newspaper, there is no telephone, all that. Plus, and of course there will not be signals. Plus, we advise you to remove your wristwatch also and keep it aside. And go by the sunrise and sunset, let that be your time. This is the luxury that you can never have any other place. So what are holidays meant for? They have to be something that you learn from, take back with you. So Kerala still, I would think, comparatively speaking, this model is very much alive. And increasingly, if the definition of luxury switches from experience to built ostentation, then we are at a disadvantage. We are not harnessing our advantage.
Do you think it has something to do with the difference between a domestic travel or domestic rules and the demand?
There is. Kerala's strength, Kerala's initial growth in tourism was because of international tourism. That was a big demand. International, European tourism actually was a favorite, for European tourism, Kerala was a favored destination. They highly demanding on ecology, on performance, very, very highly demanding. So the Kerala products grew that way. They wanted local food, local architecture, and by and large, I don't say that the kind of tourism that Kerala attracted was that. Go attract another time.